recording, and then I'm going to go over what we're going to be talking about today is how to import pictures from one meme to another, or from one platform to another platform, so that you can use them in your website. The other thing is I'm going to be showing you how to go in and actually modify. I'm going to use one of my students' pages or website. She's having some issues getting rid of a red dot on her website for her SEO. She just can't figure out how to get it working. So we're going to go in there and look at a couple of things and see what she needs to fix and go in and fix them for her. And the other thing we're going to go over is showing you how to go into Wine Ambassador. As of right now, if you are not in Wine Ambassador, then you won't be able to attend the virtual event, because we're going to have to go through our back office in our Wine Ambassador in order to view that event. So until they come up with something different, you have until November to get into Wine Ambassador. I'm not sure if you can get in as a customer or if you have to come in as a rep in order to get into that back office. So that's one of the things we're going to be going over.
Sheila?
Yes, sir.
But if to save money, you have to get the ticket by Monday?
By Monday midnight Eastern.
Yeah.
I think it's, by Monday midnight. I think it's
30,
either Eastern time or Pacific time. It's $39.95. After Monday night at midnight, it goes up to $59.95, and that's just because they will be able to see Monday night how many people actually are there, and then after that it goes up, because then they have more technical things that they have to get paid for, more people to join. If there's more people to come in, it's just a cost. A lot of people's like, I've seen people's like, well, it's virtual, why do I have to pay? Because there are costs to be able to put this program together to get it out to everybody. It's not a free program. It's just like if you went to, a live event, there's still costs that they have to pay for renting the rooms, costs they have to pay for, all the different things that they have to do, licenses they have to take. The only thing with this one is because it is virtual, there's still technical stuff. They have to go in and set up a program in the back office that we can house everybody, we can get everybody on without any flaws. There's going to be, for people that's going to be speaking, they're going to have a different format and platform so that they'll be able to join and actually do the talking or the teaching. And then they're going to have breakout facilities where, hey, if you want to learn how to do social media marketing, you can go there. If you want to learn how to just do your PBS, you can go there. If you want to do how to do tasting classes or do a tasting group, you'll be able to go there. So they're going to have breakout sessions. So in order to do a breakout sessions, you're going to have another platform to go there, so you don't shut everybody down once they decide to go to a different platform. So there are technical costs to it, so that's why the cost goes up. The more people you have, the more, again, more internet usage you need, so therefore you got to pay for a bigger program.
Okay.
So that's, yes.
Two things. My understanding, and I think I'm right, but maybe not, the cutoff is going to be October 25th because of something that will have to get mailed out. And then my second question is, are the breakout sessions going to be recorded? Because obviously we can't attend everything, but we might want to go back and watch it later.
Oh yeah, you never threw the trash.
I don't know if I lost audio or what.
I don't hear her either. Sheila, come back, Sheila.
I'm here.
Oh, well.
I thought she was.
Hold on.
Yeah,
can you hear me?
Yes. I had, I guess, a comment and then a question. The comment was October 25th was my understanding on the cutoff for registration.
Yeah, that's not
something getting mailed out.
That's true to a point, but you can register up until. You just won't be able to get the mail out stuff. So the 25th is the technical cutoff, but you can register up until the 25th, because I'm not going to stop building my business on the 25th just because they can't get the mailed out stuff. So if you have somebody that comes in from Wine Ambassador, up until then, they can go in and register.
Okay. And then the breakout sessions, do you know if those will be recorded, since we can't?
That's one of the things we're going to be talking about on the the MSIs. We're going to see if that's an option. So we don't know yet. They're still in the planning stages on how they're going to get everything taken care of. But I'm sure if there's a way, they will.
Sure, sounds great.
Okay. All right. So one of the things I'm going to show you right off the bat is how to go into Wine Ambassador. The other things I want to remind you is when you come to your Gmail, you need to make sure that you do have Chrome as your default browser. I've answered a lot of questions this week, even on Paul's class that we had on Thursday, was people was like, well, they couldn't get to where they needed to go, or they were getting other messages. So you need to make sure that Chrome is your default browser, that you're not using one web browser to get to another web browser, because sometimes that first web browser that you're using is always going to be your default. So when you go to your email, or you're sending out an email, or you're doing a text, it's going to pull up whatever is associated with your default web browser. So always make sure that you set your Chrome as your default browser. If you have Firefox or Edge or Microsoft Explorer as your default, and then you're going in there searching for Google or searching for Chrome and pulling it up that way, you're still in your default browser, which is going to be your Firefox, whatever the other one is. So everything's going to be linked to accordingly. So go in and set up Chrome as your default browser so that when you go to search, it automatically pulls up your Chrome. Okay, just food for thought. And then also, please remember that you do have shortcuts that you set up here. Either you've done it or your computer's done it, because you've actually gone to those places quite a few times and it saves it as a favorite. I see a lot of people, they'll come up here and search for something and it's right here. So, so always look here to see your shortcuts. So I have my shortcuts of things that I go to all the time. So I'm going to click on my Wine Ambassador, and it's going to pull up your profile. So when you come in here, you want to come right here, and you want to click on your 3 hamburgers, which we'll call a hamburger. You're going to go to shopping. And when you pull up your shopping, it's going to pull up your shopping. This is where you can go in and get, you know, if you want to be in the cheese program like you have with wine, you can get a monthly selection of cheeses. You can change your, actually buy the cheese grotto, which is the cheese cupboard, what I call the cupboard that you place your cheese in, just like a bread box. It's a cheese box. Then this is also where you can go in and order extra wine if you want to. But if you look at the very bottom, this is your Crush It Live event. Okay, so this is where you want to click on it, and you want to go ahead and just get one. You can only get one per computer because you are going to be using your back office. Get one per computer, and then you want to hit checkout. Then once you hit checkout, there's another tab that pulls up. You have to click everything until it tells you, congratulations, you've purchased your site. And then you can go into your history, your order history, after it purchases, and then it will show you what your purchase is. Okay. So there's one of the things that, you know, that's how you know that you have it. And you'll be able to get an email. They'll send you an email later letting you know that everything went through. But that's how you do. You have to click on everything that it shows you to click on. Don't just assume that when you click the first one that it says that you're done. Click it until it shows 0, and that you can go into your Smart Ship and see, or your order history, and see where you actually ordered the program. And that's how you go in and get your actual ticket for your virtual event. So the other thing is I want to show you is, all right, hold on.
Well, hang on a minute, Sheila, with the Wine Ambassador. So because I'm not in that program, I can't go to the event.
As of right now, that is correct, because we're going to go in through the back office. So that's what I was saying. We're going to try to figure out something about that. See if there's a way to work around it. I'm sure. But the thing about it is, that's one of the things, is because it is Wine Ambassador. That's one of the, and that's what it's going to be talking about, is Wine Ambassador, how to promote it, how to work your website accordingly. So, but we'll be talking about it between now and the time of the actual event. And we'll just keep putting more information out there as it comes through, and see, you know, what other ways that we can get around to some things. Okay.
Sheila.
Okay.
Yes.
When you hit checkout, you said there's another checkout?
Yeah, when I did it, there was like 2 different ones that I had to click before it actually gave me my ticket. So if you already see it and you go into your back office and go into order history and it's there, then you're done. It could have just been my internet was slow that night.
Okay.
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 All right. So the other thing I want to show you is if someone sends you some images, or say you have images and you want to import them, like with Linda Marie, I sent her some images. Okay, so since she's not in Wine Ambassador, she still wanted to, you know, be able to do the pictures. So I sent them to her in Skype, and there are the images. And I don't see any of them that say direct sellers, darling.
Not yet.
That's the only one that was the last one I sent you. Yeah, those are the only ones I
Oh,
sent
one
you.
more back. You still got an arrow.
Oh, that
Okay.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that might have came
I
in
went-
by accident.
Right. I said, what is that? Because I started writing down the information. So wait a minute, that's not it. I saw.
Yeah, don't use that one. That's the old one. Yeah. So what we're going to do is when you click on that, you can actually see, if you right click on your mouse, and I suggest everybody get a mouse instead of using your keypad, you're going to see where it says save as, and you're just going to click on that, and then you're going to have your folder pulled up that you should have it saved in. If you don't have a folder, then you want to go to your side stack over here. You want to go to your pictures. Okay. And then you want to create new, and then you want to put either, you can say wine images, or if you want it to, like I always say, just say blogging pictures, and then hit enter. It's telling me I already have one, so I'm going to just come here and rename this again, and I'm going to put website photos. Okay, and then I'm going to open that, and then I want to create a folder within that, and I'm going to name it wine images. And then I'm going to open that, and then it's already telling me what my name of my photo is based on this image, and I'm just going to hit save. Okay, and then I'll click the next one and hit save again, and it's going to pull up the last folder I was in, which is where I want to be, my web, and I put sites wrong. I'll go and fix that. Photos, wine images, and this says WA Club, and I'm just going to put and I always like to name my images so I know what I'm looking at.
Right.
And then I'm gonna go again and do this one, save as, it pulls up the last member, and it says, it tells me this is for the estate. Okay, I'll keep that one. And then I'll go to the next one. You always want to make sure the image clears. You don't want to save a fuzzy image, and hit save as. And this says reserve member. I'm gonna hit save. And then this is our Grand Cru, save. And that's the end. Then you just click out of it and you're good. So, but if you say you were in Google and you want to do images, so you go to wine images, or even you can do health images. Okay, and then just click on images and say if there's different things that you wanted to look for, especially if you're doing, see, here's a great one, health is wealth. You can use that, medical, different things that you want to use. Here's 12 tips to be healthy. Here's a great one, exercise or meditation, sleep, eat healthy, different things like that. Watch your heart rate. So we can actually, here's one about food, different things, heart health, everyday health. So here's one that this will be a great one. So you just do the same thing, save image as, and it's going to pull up the last one I was in. So I'm just going to go to blogging pictures, and here's my folders. I'm going to go to, this is going to be for Blue Scorpion, and I'm just going to put health image or healthy image and hit save. So that tells me, and this will be a great one that you can use a meme for. And you do it basically the same way. You just find the picture. Here's one for healthy lifestyle. That'll be a great one to write an article on. You'd hit save image as, and it's going to pull up the last folder you were in. If it's not the folder you want, then you go, you know, depending on where you have your images saved, find your folder. And this one's going to be healthy lifestyle, and hit save. So that's how you would go in and save your images. And then if you wanted to come back and use those images, you know, depending on where you wanted to put them, like I don't have one here. And this is going to be, this is actually done in classic block. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to hit my add media. And I'm going to hit upload file, select image. And I want to go to, since I put this one in, blogging pictures, blue scorpion, and just pull up that. And then insert it into page. And then I want to, and then we're
How
going
did you
to,
do that part?
once it pulls up, it just randomly puts it wherever I had my cursor.
Okay.
So then once you click on the actual image, it has its own toolbar. Each image or anything that you do has its own toolbar once you add it. Okay. And then most of them comes in as no alignment. And then you just go and say if you wanted to put it on the left side, if you wanted to put it on the right side, or if you just want it centered. I'm just going to put it to the left. Let's see, what was my last image? That was centered. The one. So let's put this one on the right side.
Yeah,
And
I
then,
accidentally did that and the words come up around. So I don't know how I done that, but
yeah.
okay, that's what I wanted.
Yep. And then you just make your image smaller, depending on how your words come out. And then again, you want to make sure you edit. Since this is in classic, it's going to show up a little different. So I want to come here and edit. And this is where you're going to put your alternative text, work from home. And do I want it to link? Yes, I want it to link to a custom URL. And then here I'm going to do fresh foods and gourmet. And usually it'll pull up some of the last ones that you've had. So I'll just put that in there. And then I want to make sure this link opens in a new tab. I always do my internal images in a new tab just because it's a habit. You don't have to. Also, your image title attribute needs to be put in there too if you're using classic. And then just hit update. So that's how you would add an image.
What do you mean the attribute? So you put it in the main thing and then also in the attribute?
Yes, and the reason
trying to wrap my head around that.
Yep, because you're going to put it in alternative text. You're also going to put it in your image title attributes. And the reason you do that is because if they're searching for a title, then your picture can come up under title. If they're searching for just key phrases, this is your alternative text, and they use your key phrase, your image can come up. So you want to make sure that they can search and find your image under every possible means that they have access to. And the reason, like I said, you link your images is because on the first one, they click your image, they see your image. But if they double click your image, it takes them to the site that initial image came from, which will be your website. So then now they're in your website. So that's the purpose of linking your images. So if you have an image on your page, always link it. Because you want them to have that extra way to get into your website. It's great that they can see where it comes from, because if you look on images, they will see that that image came from, you know, a particular site. But if they double click it, then they can see where that image came from. And that's what you want. You want them to see your image always. And then you just hit update, and then that image is done. Then the next thing you want to do is make sure you update your page. Okay, and then it says it's saved, it's done, so I'm good to go.
I lost that title the second when we put your how to work from home. What was the name of that?
No, but they can hear you. My daughter just walked in, y'all.
You know them annoying people you see when they have they record them too.
Okay, y'all. Yes, she's silly. She's pregnant. She 8 months pregnant, so give No, I'll be there in a minute.
We already know all about it. You'll be there.
So,
Mom, I can't believe you're talking about me.
I'll drive out there. Okay. All right. So that's how you will go about getting your images, and why it's important to link all your images in your website. Is you want to make sure that you have that ability to get people into your website by every means possible. The links are great. You don't want to have an image out there on your website that just goes to your image file, or your media file, because then that doesn't help them. That doesn't get them back into your system. Now, it is possible you can leave it there and they just click on it and get a bigger images, especially if you're using a logo, or a memes image, then that's perfectly okay. They can go in and copy the link off your image, or off your logo. But you always want to make sure that every image that you have in your system is linked to a page in your system that they can come back to, or at least to an alternative link that they can go to and see the actual offer that you're putting out there. The one thing I want to do before we go to the next one is see if there's anything specifically that anybody wants to go over, that I'll be able to use this information as I go into this next section on how to modify a page. Anything anybody wants to go over specifically?
Sheila, this may not be, it's so easy. When you put a link in, then you highlight it, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did that, but I forgot, no, excuse me, I accidentally left the last letter of what I was highlighting off. It missed it. So I said, okay, let me break the link and come back and highlight again. I couldn't get that last bloody letter in there.
Sometimes, and you don't have to. I have several like that it missed the letter, or it added the next letter to the next sentence. That's fine, as long as that link is there for them to click.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, as long as it doesn't have just that one, or it has anything that they can link to, you'll be fine.
Okay.
But what you don't want is not to have a link at all.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, just
yes.
half
I
an
have
hour.
a question on
Okay.
the on this part that you're at right now.
Uh-huh.
Okay, if you don't, on your home page, if you want something removed off of your home page, how do you do that?
So if you go to post, because home page is in post, it's not in pages. So you go into post. Okay, so you go into post, and whichever one you want to remove, then that's the one you want to take care of. So let's say I want to remove this one. So I would go here to where it says quick edit. And if it's a really good page and you just don't want it on your front side anymore, then you're just going to come here and put it into draft. And that'll take it off your front page.
Okay, and if you want it in your site, you do it as a blog or a post?
As a page. If you want it in your pages instead of on your post, then you will have to actually recopy that information into a page. You cannot transfer pages and posts back and forth from each other. It has to be created into a whole new page.
Okay, if I'm understanding right, homepage is posts and pages are just pages.
Yep. So homepage, so if I come here and visit my site, this is my home page. This is the post. So anything that I create as a post will show up here. Now, unless you have a particular post that you designate as a sticky, which means no matter what you create, it's always going to be first, then your post works in reverse chronological order, which means the last thing you wrote will be the first thing that pops up on your home page. So don't get me wrong now, pages and posts are still pages. You still create them the exact same way. It's just their designation of where they are in your website is what's the difference. So a post is going to be on your home page only, and they go in order. So it's one after the other. You don't have an additional page like when you go into your pages right here in your categories. It's just a specific page that they see. On your home page, they see everything that you have on your home page. If you got 10 different pages on here or 10 different posts, they see all 10 of them. It's right there for them to see. They can come in here and look at it. That goes straight from one to the other. But if there's one that you want removed, then all you have to do is just click and put it in draft, or trash it. But if it's a good article and you just don't want it on your home page, but you still want people to be able to see it, you're going to have to put it in a page. Because if you create a post, there's no way to have floating post. You can have floating pages. You can't have a floating post. Posts stay on the home page until you take them off.
Okay, so on your home page, what if your pages are just continuing? If you say like on this home page right now, and you go in and edit, you click on edit, and then you start adding other stuff on this one.
Yeah, now you can edit. Yeah, you can edit each individual post. So even though when I come to my home page, I can see every one, but at the end of each one, you see where it says edit this, and I can click on this and edit just this post. It's not every one. Like I said, each post is still its own individual page.
Okay.
It just shows up on consecutively on the home page, but each post is still its own page. So you can go in and modify and edit each individual post on there, and fix whatever you need to fix, add whatever you need to add, and it'll be there. And then when you go to visit your site, that paste or whatever modifications you've added will be on that one particular one that you edited. But each one, because this is one whole post right here, and then I get to the end of this one, and it shows me that I can edit this, and then see that little break in there? There's a little break,
Yeah.
and then here's my next page.
Okay, gotcha.
So, and then at the end of this one, you'll see that edit again, and you just click on edit. So if I wanted to take some of these out, I can just click edit and then remove whatever I need to remove, add whatever I need to add, and go from there. And then you have another break, and then there's my next page.
Okay.
So, but each page is individualized, but on your home page, which is your post, they're in chronological order. However you create them, that's the way they show up, or reverse chronological order.
So
And then another thing, I'm sorry, one more thing. This is a story. You know, I got so excited about my scorpion page.
Yes, and it was great.
And I was like, oh, I'm so excited. And so I posted it on Facebook. And what happens is my friends critiqued it and started telling me that it was wrong. Everything was wrong. It was spelled wrong. There was bad spelling, bad grammar. It didn't. And I'm like, you know what? You don't have to look at it.
And that's the thing. You don't want to be perfect. I mean, it's up to you how you want to do it. You know, I always write and then post, and then I'll come back and look at it again maybe a couple of days later, and I'll see, you know, yeah, there's some grammar mistakes, there's this and that. But if they're just going through trying to pick out grammar, not really looking at the story, then they're not really interested in buying. They're just being nasty, just to be ugly. You know, I'm just being honest. You know, if somebody's actually really looking for something, they're not going to be worried that you got a run-on sentence, or that you used the wrong grammar, or that you misspelled something. But now if it's a really bad written something, you know, like, then yeah, go back through and read it, you know, but just say, hey, thanks for your feedback, you know, thank you, and keep going. But it was great.
Well, you were supposed to read it in the morning.
So, you know, that's just, please, if you got background noise, just mute yourself, Mr. Emilio. I'm hearing your conversation. Okay.
I think what happened is that most people in their minds are thinking blogging is a story you're telling, and not like most of ours are stories, but they're also advertisements.
Yeah, yeah, and they are.
And that was her problem. She says, you're just repeating everything that's on here. I'm like, okay, you're not really reading it then. No. You're not really looking at it.
And that's what you got to go through in your mindset, is when you get the negative, take the negative as it is, pick out what you can use out of it, and go on. Don't let it hinder your progress. And you've made a big breakthrough. Don't let them push you back.
Like at first, I was all excited, and then when my friends started slamming me on it, I was like, oh my gosh, oh, what did I do? Is this wrong?
No, it's not. I will tell you if it is. Promise you.
Okay.
I will tell you if it is. What you did is exactly what needs to be done. Now, if you go back, or like I said, go back in a couple of days and reread it and say, oh yeah, I did this, when your mind's fresh and you're not really thinking about what you're writing, you're not focusing on that, then yeah, go back and clean it up if there's some cleanup that needs to be done. But don't take away your content. Your content is exactly the way it needs to be for what you wrote. You wrote an ad article, and that's exactly what it is an ad article. You wrote it correctly. You wrote it, you had your offer right there. Hey, boom, this is what it is. Come here and get it. This is explaining what it does. This is how it works. Boom, get it here. So you did exactly what you did, what you were supposed to do for your article that you wrote. Now, if you were going back through and writing it based on your own experience, it will be a whole different article, because then you're writing it from your point of view, your own experiences, not necessarily the technical side of it. So
Right.
there's two different ways that you can promote that. Now that you've done the actual promotion of the article, which means, hey, I got this art, I got this product, this is what it does, this is how it's created. You've done an infomercial basically. So now once you've done that, then you can come back on the heels of that and say, oh, you remember that article I wrote about this product? This is how it's affected me, and this is what my story is. And you got a whole completely different outlook. It's going to generate a whole different group of people that's going to come in and look at that. So that's why I said, don't worry about you getting that criticism from people, because they're looking at it in a whole different light. They're looking at it, like you said, as a blog. Oh, well, I don't see your story in here. You didn't write it as a story. You wrote it as an infomercial. Now, when you
Right.
come back and write your story, then that's going to be the ones that you're going to appeal to. That's going, oh yeah, now I see that. So you got to realize that when you're writing your blog and you're writing your pages, you're going to have two different sections or two different ways you're going to market your pages. You're going to have your infomercial that's going to be your information, and it's going to repeat, because you want them to really see that, hey, this is what this does. This is how it's formulated. This is what you can do to get it. And then you're going to have your personal pieces that's going to incorporate with, I had this product, this is how, and you're still going to repeat it. This is what it does. This is how it's formulated. This is how it affected me. And then you're going to go into your personal story. So you need that, especially if you're going to be marketing to businesses. Businesses don't like fluff. They want facts and figures. So that's why you're
Right.
going to have all of that in your system. You don't just want a whole website dedicated to just blogging, which is your personal feelings on everything. It's not going to appeal to everybody. Excuse me. But you
Okay.
don't want to have a whole website with nothing but facts and figures. Again, you're going to alienate a lot of the population.
You
So
know,
that's why we say,
when you looked at it and then you said, okay, you need to do this and you need to do that, and I did that, and all of my greens were green, and I was all excited. So I I put it out there, and I'm like, I was excited.
yeah, and do it, because that was a personal achievement for you. And that's why I
Yeah.
said, don't let the negativity bring you down, because that was a big milestone for you. Don't let anybody take that from you. Nobody. That's why you bring it to me, bring it to the group. I'll read it. And trust me, if I'd have looked at it and said, hey, yeah, you got a ton of mistakes, don't put this out there, I would have told you. I read it. I saw some things, but it's like, I was looking for that. I was just looking for your overall content, and you did exactly what needed to be done, and be done with it. You made your milestone. You've got that out of your way. So now you know what you need to do next.
Yeah, this scorpion one was my hardest one. That's why it took me so long to get it done.
And you like I said, just keep going. You're doing great. Same
Okay,
thing with
thank you.
Amelia, it's the same way. He's got it down. Y'all just have to get your confidence up, and don't let take the negativity in stride. Pick out of it what you can use. Don't look at the general overtone when somebody sends you something bad back. Just look at it as a critique. Okay, yeah, let me go back and see what they said. Don't look at the tone that they wrote it so much as what they wrote, and say, okay, yeah, I need that. Or, if it's somebody that's just trying to be ugly to you to get on the bad side, because y'all know my religion. I say the devil always gets into things and tries to make people do the opposite, so he could be that person that's going to say, oh, I'm going to smash her today. But don't look at it that way. Look at even the negatives as a positive, because somebody just come up and said, hey, this is what you need to do to make your page better, instead of saying, well, this is how your page sucks.
Yeah.
I one of my memes I wrote, and I need put it back out there was, hey, I need more negative people so I can build my business better. You know,
I
so
like that.
so that's
Yeah.
one of the memes I have, and I need to bring it back out. But yeah, that's one of the things I got out there was, hey, I need more negative people to respond to my page so I know what I need to fix. You know,
Okay.
so so that's one of the
Yeah.
things you need to do is just to take anything anybody gives you and just take out of it what you need and leave the rest of it. That's all.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Question
Yes, sir.
on the when you were showing one page after where one page ends and the other one continues,
Mm-hmm.
how did that page get on there?
This is on your home page.
I missed that.
So on your home page, whenever you create a page, say like you want to create something new,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. you have what we have post, and you
Mhm.
have your media, which is where you want to bring in pictures, and you have pages.
Okay.
This confuses a lot of people because they'll go to new and they'll just click the first one that they get,
Yeah.
and then they'll go to look for it and they can't find it. A post is only on your home page, and it shows up in reverse order. So the
Okay.
last thing you create will be the first thing that shows up on your home page or your home site. The pages is what you need to be writing.
Right.
Pages actually go into your big website where everybody can look at it. And that's where you can create floating pages. I know with the menu thing that we came out with, or that WordPress came out with, it's confusing a lot of people because they're like, well, God, I can only have 90 pages now. No, you want as many pages in your system as you can possibly get. However, you only want a minimum or maximum of 90 on your menu structure.
Showing.
Yeah, showing. So that means you want people to search your website for things. You only want the most relevant and pertinent information on your menu structure. So
Right.
if you have 20 pages on cooking, don't put all 20 pages in your menu. You know, if you have cooking for beef and cooking for chicken and cooking for shrimp or seafood, you know, or vegan foods, then you can have a subcategory in the cooking for that and then only put a couple of pages in each one. Or you can go to your main category and pull up your cooking, food, and wine category and
Right.
list them all there. Then you don't
Okay.
have to worry about it. But you don't want every page on the menu. You actually want them to use that search option on your page. That's why it's there.
So
Especially,
when I'm sorry. Go ahead.
especially for Google. I know when you got your original website, there was a couple of pages that were repeated in several different categories. What you need to do is take those pages out and only leave it in one category if you want to leave it on your menu, and leave it in the most relevant category, like Smart Miner. I know when I got mine, it was in 4 different categories. I took it. Yep, I took it out and only put it in the computer category. That's where it fits best. Some people have in the free category. So, but there's a couple of different ones that are showing up in several different categories. If you have a repeat page, take it out. You only need it once. You got that's real estate that you're wasting on another page that you could put there.
Okay. So if I'm working on a page, say for gardening or whatever,
Mhm.
when I'm done, I don't go publish and I publish it. I hit post.
Yeah, you publish it. You want to publish it in your page. Go ahead and you want to make sure if you're writing it on gardening, write it as a page. Everything going forward should be as a page. If you're applying for Google AdSense, and this is just for those that are applying for Google AdSense, and that should be everybody, you need at least 2 pages on your post page, minimum of 2 pages. If
Okay.
you only have one, so when you go to your home page and you only have one article here or one page here, it's not enough. Google wants a minimum of 2. All right. That's the
But I'm sorry. I was gonna say, but when I'm done with the page, I publish it.
Yep. That's all you
And
have to
then
do is publish it.
and then I hit post or what?
Yeah, once you publish it, it's done. It's already done. You don't have to do anything else. It's in your website. As soon as you hit publish, it's there for people to be able to search.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to do post. And see, that's the other thing is people's confusing the post, because everybody hears post when you're using social media. Hey, I'm going to post this. I'm going to post this. I'm going to post that. I'm going to do that. In your website, post is a completely different animal. Post is only related to your page and where you're putting it. Post means you're going on your home page. That's it. As soon as you hit publish on that page and then publish again to make sure that it's there, you're done with it. You don't have to do anything else to it until you get ready to advertise it. And then when you advertise it, then that's where you're going to go to your social media and post your ad and post your website. You're going to go to your marketing sites and you're going to post your page. So that's the difference between posting. So don't get the two confused.
So
Post on your page is just that it's going on your home page. That's
so
the
that's
only
only when
difference.
I'm going to the like a Facebook or something like that.
Yep. Yep.
That's when I'm gonna post.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, fine.
Yep, exactly.
Got it. That was kind of confusing.
It is, and I've run across that quite a bit. So yeah, so whenever you're talking about post for your website, just remember post according to your website is for your home page only. That's the only thing you need to know about post. Anything else related to post is usually related to topics of where you're posting your ads for like your social media platforms, your advertising platforms, your back office links and things like that. That's where you're actually posting your link for your page. But anything related to your website itself, a post is just that. It's a post that's going onto your home page. That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Sheila,
You're very welcome.
I got questions.
Okay.
On the page, like I'm working on the wine page right now. I look over on my home page and I see exactly what I put on there. I'm going, how do I get it shortened like what you've got?
What do you mean shorten?
Well, because my page is big and it's got a bunch of, yours is short. You got little short clips of each different category.
That's because it's a category page. So this right here is just like a little is a category page. You're doing an actual page. So if I come over here to my wine page, well, I can come here to my
Or just any of your pages. When you go to when I go to my page and I'm editing it, I come back to my home page and I'm looking at exactly what I'm typing in. Go, okay, well, how do I get it?
So are you looking at this? Or are you looking at the actual fine wines delivered to your door page?
See, there's a deal. It's like it's another page.
All right, we'll get together this week and I'll see what, because you totally lost me there.
Well, I'm getting confused at it. I'm thinking like what I saw you scrolling down your pages, and Google wants to see more than one page on there, and it's not really a page, but it's just a couple paragraphs with a picture, and then you go on to your next, subject, couple paragraphs and a picture. You're shorting what the basic is.
That's a category. You're describing a category menu.
Okay.
Which is this, which I think is what you're doing, but we'll get together this week. I'll let you know either today or tomorrow what day we'll get together.
Okay.
I got to look at my calendar because it's really full for August.
Right. Okay.
So we'll get together. I'll let you know what days I have and we'll see. But I think that's what you're talking about is you're getting the category menu, the category page, and the actual page confused. And we'll clear that up.
I just know when I'm working on it and I go to my home page to get something out of it, that it's there. It's the same page I'm working on. I'm going, dadgummit. Now I know that's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be short and condensed.
Yeah. I think we got to get together. I think you're confusing the two. So we'll straighten that out.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. All right. Anybody else have anything else they want to go over real quick before we jump on to this? All right, so I want to see, she sent me one of the pages that she had. That was this one. I think it was this one. Okay, so we'll do this one. So as you can see, when you come into your site, this is what you have at a glance. And if you don't have these options, then all you have to do is come up here to where it has screen options, and it can tell you what you want. If you want to look for your key phrase, you can do your key phrase. If you want to look for your SEO title, you can put that in there, and then hit apply. If you don't have any of those up there, then you can put it in here, and then it will tell you right here what you're using. All right, and then I'm gonna come back here. I think it was the solar. I think that was the page it was on. All right, whoever's in the background got extra noise. Could everybody just please mute unless you have a question? That way we won't get any feedback on the recording. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, so we're going to come here to, she has the Sephora, and she has orange and orange, and she couldn't get rid of the oranges. And you need to always make sure you have green and green. If you're applying for Google Ads and you come here and you look at your at a glance and you see everything's green, 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 and you run across an orange, you can have 1 or 2 oranges, but you don't want to have as many as she has. If you have, say, 100 pages of content, and out of those 100 pages, 10 of them is still orange, that's too many. That means that Google's going to look at it and say, okay, you know, they haven't quite edited it enough. I need to make sure. You always want to have all of these green. You can get away with, you know, a couple of them being orange, but you don't want to have a whole lot of them. Definitely no reds and no grays. She has a few grays here, but you can see it's in draft. Google doesn't look at anything that's marked draft or marked private. They only look at stuff that's going out to the public, which should be your majority of your website. I know there's a few people that have private in their website. That's fine. I have one student that does journaling on her website, and she has it marked private. That's where, you know, she just keeps things up for herself. And, you know, you can do that. Like me and Paul, we have certain private things that we do just for the company that you have to have passwords to get in. That's fine too. Google doesn't look at stuff like that. They only look at stuff that's public for anybody to be able to search for. So we're going to click on this and we're going to hit edit. Okay. And from the edit, I'm going to scroll all the way down. All right. So this says it has an autosave. So I'm not going to mess with the autosave because I don't know if she's went in it previously and tried to do anything to it, and I don't want to mess anything up. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here to her SEO traffic. And she's got her key phrase, Sephora Technology and Marketing Platform. And we're going to check this out. So then we're going to come here to our SEO analysis, which is our first orange, and we're going to open it up. And we're going to read what it says. All right, so the first thing we see right now that needs to be fixed is she doesn't have her key phrase in any subheadings. Her text length is too short. You have to have a minimum of 300 words, and her SEO title is too long. So what we're going to do is we're going to come here to her edit snippet. And she's got, that's fine. We're going to close that. So it's red all the way to the end. So now we're going to go up here and look at her title. So based on what she has here, Sephora Technology and Marketing Platform, we're going to come right here. And you have these little separators. So you have your title, your page, your separator, and then your site title. So what we're going to do is we're going to take away the site title. And that fixed it. Now, if we want to add that back in, see amazing online offers.
If you take away the site title, does that take it away off the top of the page, or it just takes it out of this mixture?
Just takes it out of here, because at the top of the page, you see she doesn't have amazing online offers.
Okay.
All right. So what we have to look at is this is how it's going to show up on Google. All right. So Google is telling you, hey, this is what you're looking at is her title, and this is the website it came from. So if we just want to remove the amazing online offers, then that fixes it. Okay. For this particular one, it takes that out of red. and then we're just going to close the snippet. But the one thing that's really going to change things is this right here. This is key. Google will not publish anything or make it searchable that's less than 300 words. So I need to let her know that, hey, you need to go back and check the content. The other thing is her subphrase, her subheadings. So one of the things that she has here, she has all these different titles, these subheadings. So she needs to at least have one of them that has her key phrase.
So I got a question. This is Phyllis.
Yeah.
This, when you're putting those on there, does it matter if it's in the beginning or if it's in the end or the location of it?
Hold on just a minute. I might need you to repeat that. Hold. All right, repeat that again, Phyllis.
Okay, so like where are you putting the focus word, the keywords?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it says you don't have enough keywords in your blogging or whatever, your page.
Uh-huh.
So does it matter if it's in the beginning of a sentence or in the middle or at the end?
It does. So what you need to do is, if it's telling you that you don't have it, because sometimes it'll tell you you're not using your focus key phrase in your meta description, or it's telling you that you don't have your focus key phrase at the beginning of your paragraph. Okay.
Right.
And so you want to make sure that you have it at the beginning of your paragraph. Sometimes, depending on what your focus key phrase is, it's not logical to put it at the beginning of your paragraph, but as long as it's within the first couple of sentences or the first part of your paragraph, you can get away with it. Now, what we're trying to do for her, or for this particular page, is we're trying to at least get this green. Now, if your overall is green and green and you still have a couple of down here that's orange, then that's going to be an issue. Now, see right here, it said to use the key phrase in a subheading. So I used it, but then it gave me this. I've used the key phrase too many times. So again, but because she's got so many subheadings, she's used these as subheadings, and they really shouldn't be subheadings. That's why it's giving me that. So and that's the thing, like this here, she's used it as a subheading. It doesn't need to be a subheading. She can actually come here and change this to a paragraph, and we can say alrighty, and just make that a capital letter. So it really didn't change much. And so one of the other things I can come through here and do is, I can just add to this page. Right, like right here, this would be better off instead of, let's see if it'll let me do it. I bet it won't. Nope. So what I want to do is I'm going to copy this information. Let's see if it'll let me do it. And I'm going to come up here and open up a new tab, and I want to do a list.
Oh, that's so. I tried to do a list too, and I couldn't figure out how to do it.
But see, it copied the list exactly the way I had it, and I didn't want to do that. So I'm just going to go back and take that out. So I need to do this as a list, and this does not need to be a header. She actually needs to put in can do a header here. All right, and then I'm going to come through here and I'm going to do a list from here. And I'm going to use the 1, 2, 3 because if you use these dots in a list, it's going to give you the red dot at the end that says you have consecutive sentences started with the same thing, and it's this dot. So you always want to make sure you use the numbers because they are not consecutive or they're not the same. So then I'm just going to put here influencers. Okay, and then I'm going to come to the next one and do brands. And you see, I took and actually put the word "and" instead of using the ampersand. And you want to do that because you want to get as many words in as you can. So you don't want to use any shortcuts, shorthand. Your word content is key. And then we're going to go to the third one. All right, so we did that. So now we're going to just go ahead and remove this information. And then we're going to update. All right, so now we're going to do, she's talking about discounts. Again, I want to use this. Discounts on travel. I can type. Okay, so there's that. All right, you see right here, this is an empty block. You want to get rid of that. And a lot of people's like, well, how do I get rid of an empty block? Just put a dot in there. You get your toolbar and just click remove block. You don't want any extra space in here. Just hit a dot, any kind of letter, anything that lets them know that this is no longer empty, and then just remove your block. Okay, same here, you know, it's an empty block. We don't want any empty space in your pages, and remove it. So that cleaned it up. So just by writing that little bit, so now we're in green. I still don't have enough text length. Says my subheadings needs to be a little bit more. I need another key phrase. Sephora technology and marketing platform. And so right here, we can talk about Marvel Health. And we can actually come here. Let's see, she's got the blue scorpion. Actually, I'm just going to type in this one.
Sheila, can I just ask you a quick question, or
Mhm.
did I not finish up?
No.
When you have, if you have not used the product yourself, any wording that would make people know it's a good product even though you haven't used it?
If you haven't used it, use the other people's words. Use the testimonies from somebody else. You can say, hey, I have, and you can tell them, be honest, I haven't used this myself, but I have friends and families that have used it, and this is what they have told me. And then you can use their exact words, you can use their exact quotes. You have to get permission from them if you want, you want to use their name, because a lot of people don't like their name posted everywhere. But you can just say, hey, my friend has it for this, you know, and they tried it for that, and this is the results they have. But be honest, don't tell them that you've used it when you haven't. If you go and read my wine pages, I'd never say I've tried it, because I don't drink wine. But I tell them, hey, I gave this to my friends, and this is what they said, and this is how they promoted it, and this is what I've learned from my research. But I try to be as honest, always as honest as I can in my pages. But all my wine pages, they know I don't drink. I don't specify that I don't drink. And when I talk about wine and cooking, you know, I let them know based on my research, this is a wine that goes real good, or from a reference or from a referral from a friend or an acquaintance, this wine seems to be the best to go with this meal, you know. So that's how you can go around that. If you haven't tried the product, then use the testimonials of people that have. There's plenty of us out there that use it.
Good. Okay. I
Yeah.
don't have any family.
I
You know,
I
I'm isolated. Can I use it?
Yes,
You know,
because I
yeah,
use it and I can tell a difference when I don't use it. Like I said, I was out for about a week on my blue scorpion, and I hurt all, I mean, even my fingers started creaking again. I was like, please hurry up and get here. Hurry up and get here. But yeah, the black blue scorpion venom works great. It
I got a
really does.
question about that, Sheila. Does it smell?
No, it has no smell, no taste.
I'll tell you what, Lane's grandson has been involved in making that ointment with CBD, the stuff from the marijuana plant.
Yeah.
And Lane went and paid $28 or $38 for two of the, you know, each for two of these, and it's like an underarm deodorant is what it looks like. But the smell is so bad. I used it before I went to physical therapy, and I just looked at it and said, I'm so sorry, I smell like a medicine cabinet. I hate
It has no
that.
smell. It has no smell. And it's a liquid. You take a vial, it's got a little dropper, fill that dropper up, put it up under your tongue, swallow it, you're good.
Awesome.
No taste.
Okay.
Yeah, it just needs to stay refrigerated. Once you get it, keep it refrigerated.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
thank
if you take it out and let it get warm, it has like a little aftertaste. But as soon as you pop it back in the refrigerator, it's good. Just keep it cool.
Okay.
Yeah, keep it
'Cause I
refrigerated.
want to order it. I do.
Yep.
And I'm not sure how to go about it. I've already made my purchase for this month. So I think I'm gonna wait till next month. So I've got
Yeah,
to purchase.
Yep, just go into the back office of your Blue Scorpion, your Sephora, and order it.
Am I
Okay.
unmuted? Hello?
Yes,
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
yeah. Is it good for arthritis? I have severe
yes,
arthritis of the spine.
yes, yes.
Okay. I haven't done the page yet, but I'll have to get it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I have one other thing to ask.
Yes,
When you get through, will you show us how to move that picture so it's beside the writing, please?
I will. I'll
Okay.
actually put one in here for her.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so this just basically expanded on this product since she introduced it. She really didn't say anything about what they had to offer. So, and then she said, letting them know, and it says, click here for more information. So that is perfect right there. And then let's see what we have. I think we cleared up. Yep, so now we just have this key phrase thing. It's keep telling us about this key phrase, which should be fine, but I think because I've used this as lowercase, and I'm just going to come here and copy this. That's a H3. Okay. That's the other thing is when it says higher things, they usually, because they want it in an H2 or above, which we only use a H2. So I'm going to put it here. And I'm just going to do key points. Get rid of this. Paste that. See if that cleared that up. And then let's hit update. I don't know why it's still not showing it. Still saying I need it. See, now took it away. So we're going to update that. So now we're going to come up here and see how many words we have. So we have 322 words. And she has this picture here, and it looks like she has it, doesn't have it really aligned. So let's see if we can align it. So if you have an image and you have it in an image block, depending on where you have it, this positions where your images are. So if we wanted to have it back in the center where she had it, that's where it can go. But if we wanted it to be with our paragraph, then you can align it to the left and it will be at the beginning, and you can just modify your picture. If you wanted it to the right of the picture, you just click right and it will move it over that side. And then you can open it up a little bit. And that will kind of wrap your words around it and give it a little bit more definition. So in this, she only has the one image, which is the scorpion, which is fine.
That's an aha.
Yep. And so now she needs one for travel because she's talking about travel up here. So let's go and grab her image for travel. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to click an image block. And I'm just going to use, she's got her media library. So we're going to go to media library. And we're going to find something for travel that she may have in here. And let's see what she has for travel. I'm sure there's some travel ones in here. We're not going to do fly. This will be a great one for travel. So we're going to put this in there. And again, we're going to put it to the right. And we're just going to make it a little bit smaller. There we go. And I'll let her come back in and link it to wherever she wants it to link to. She needs to actually come back in here and put some more information for her link to actually go to the Sephora for travel and also her Sephora for her Marvel products. So then we're going to update this. Okay. And that put that in green for her SEO. Now let's look at her readability. Okay, her flash score is really, really low. Okay, that means it's very difficult to read. You either have too short of a sentences, too long of a sentences, or you don't have enough content. Also, her passive voice is too high. So we're going to click on this and see if it shows us where her passive voice is and what we can do to fix it. So she only has a few, so we can just get rid of one. We'll lose.
You know, I still get stumped on passive voice.
Okay, so the thing about passive voice is when you click on it, it shows you where every passive voice is so that you can remove some. Transition, it shows you where every transition is. So if it tells you you don't have enough, that means you need to add like more to that. So a lot of people, when they did transition and they would highlight it and saw it, they would remove all the transition and it was still saying they needed transition. So they're opposites. So passive voice means you need to remove some of them. Transition, when it highlights it, when it says it's not enough, that means you need to add like sentences to that.
I guess what I really meant is, you know, how, okay, what makes it passive and what makes it not passive?
If you click right here,
That you
no, so,
you,
yep. So if you don't know for sure how to use it, if you click on this right here, it will show you what the passive is and transition words are. Transition words are like in as much as, or nevertheless, or although, you know, that's going from one thought process to the next thought process.
It's the passive ones that get me crazy.
Yeah, passive is if you're using words like this right here, where you have like to learn, or is exciting. It's passive but still can be present. So it's not really showing a lot of action. It's more like a direction. So you don't want to use that. You actually want to have more action words involved.
Okay, thank you. It just crazy sometimes. I don't know what word to substitute it with.
Yep. So like this one right here, it says click here for more information to get started. And I could say instead of just say to start. Instead of saying to get started, I can say to start. And that took that out. Instead of saying get started. So see, just by using that one, it cleared up my passive. So now let's go and see transition. She's only got 15%, but this flash score is what really is bothering me. So we need to go in and look and see, you know, maybe it needs a period because it doesn't have a period. And see, it doesn't like that word. So sometimes it could just be a matter that you have a run-on sentence. All right, so right here, she's got, this is thereby. This should be a period. And this can be a capitalization. We are connecting, all right? Instead of offering, we can say they offer. And members, a global members only business, that should actually be hyphenated, and lifestyle. And she can actually say that are
hyphenated.
And see, she can say call perks and just say period perks. And then just change that. So instead of having 3 big sentences, we've just made that 5 smaller sentences. There you go. So right here, global members only business, that technically should be hyphenated. So they know it's a global members only. It's technically one word, but we're going to hyphenate it. So when you put it like this, it's like they're not really sure what it is, but we're going to leave it for that. So now, for now. So now let's go here, readability. So flesh score just went up just by changing those few. So let's go back in and see what else we can change. Take this comma out. All right. So she'll have to go in here. I think this might be her link. So I'm just going to note she sent it to decentralized travel. So I'm going to have to get her Sephora link. There it is. So we're going to copy that link address. I'm going to add this link here. Open in a new tab. And we're going to bold it. And like I said, if y'all missed it last week, you can actually change the color to individual links just by clicking this right here where it says more text controls. Go to the bottom and hit text color, and then you can choose what text you want to actually bold the color. If you want to do it orange, you can do orange. And there's the text.
Sheila, if you have, like I said, the older version, and I looked for the text coloration, not going to the side where it says color settings, I still cannot find that category at the end. So does that mean maybe I should just copy and do the paragraph over again? And maybe it would be more modern or more up to date?
If you haven't done I'm gonna go look into your website. I got a feeling you haven't done all your updates.
I did.
All right, then it's probably, yeah. So I'll go in there and look at it and let you know. Yeah.
I'll try to do that.
Okay. So I'm going to hit update. And let's see what else it's telling me. I still got to go in and change some more. Got to get that flesh score up. Transition words just went up. So we're going to come in here.
Sheila?
Yes.
I'm going to have to leave.
Okay, dear. I'll get your information to you tonight, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so right here from Blue Scorpion Venom, period. And we're going to put this here. Take that out. There you go. Period. And put in like here, in addition, we're going to use in addition. That's a transition word. And we're going to say enhances. All right. So now this went up again. I got to keep going. All right. So So we're going to hit update. So she's still got, and because of the headings that she has, we actually need to add more content for this, for us to be able to use it sufficiently. All right, so here's a couple more in here.
Sheila, you better fix that imagine. I had struggled with that word and I couldn't get it in, and that's not it.
Oh, I put image. All right, so there's that. And we're going to hit update. See, this is all one big sentence, and it needs, it's too long.
I'm bad about doing that too.
Yeah, but it's a really good sentence. It's just really long. And I think if we got rid of that, that would be okay. But we got it up to 53%, but we still need to get that green and green, which just means add more content. All right, so it's telling me, I can already see that it's gonna tell me this flesh score keeps going up, but it's not enough. And short of adding more words, we're up to 444. And I think if she comes here and does some more stuff to this right here, she'll be able to fix it. But we got at least one green, and I'll let her know. I'm gonna come here and type in our conclusion. All right. And I'm running out of time, but I would love to fix that. So I'll probably get with her later this week and see if we can fix that. But that's how you go in and just look and just follow the simple protocols that they have down here for you to do. And like Paul always says in his training, if there's anything, especially in your readability, at the end of each sentence, it tells you, click on this link. It actually opens up another page and tells you what transition words are. It gives you an example of what transition words are. Same thing with here, make sentence improve, shorter sentences to improve readability. You click on that, it opens up a page on showing you how to go in and access and change your sentence structure to make it more readable, to get that green and green. So that's one of the things that we can do for that. So that's all I have other than just staying here and actually fixing this page, which I'm going to let her do just to get her training. But we got at least one of them green, that she was having problem with her SEO. The readability is just more or less of going in, putting her paragraphs into a more concise format. I think once she gets these right here more into sentence structures instead of just they're not really sentences so much as they are phrases, that will clear up this, because the rest of the sentences are really short and concise. These aren't sentences so much as they are phrases. Okay, so that's that. And I think, let's see if that moved that up some. Yeah, so that's what it is. You see it went from 58 to 59. So once she goes in here and works on these right here, these key points, then I think that's going to change that. Same thing with here. Well, these are actual sentences, so this is fine. But these right here is what's causing it.
Her top paragraph was real short too.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, the paragraphs, as long as you have 2 to 3 sentences, that constitutes a paragraph. It's just the sentence structure itself. So that's one of the things that's here. So I'm going to leave that there. Okay. But yeah, that's what's causing the issue, is these right here. She needs to change this and makes them actual sentences. So that's all I have for today, unless there's some questions we can go over real quick.
I have one question.
Yes.
I put it in the chat.
All right, let's see.
Blue scorpion peptide, where it says X. It has that TM next to it. Does that have to be in there?
Yes, you do. So you have to copy that exact, because that's the copyright.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. So whenever you copy that information in, you have to make sure that is in there, because that's their copyright. That's their chemical formula.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just get on here and they're ending?
Yeah, I got a birthday party I got to be at 3 o'clock.
Okay. Oh, bummer.
And,
Okay,
and a cake to fix.
Oh, my. All right. Okay.
Yep. So you're good. Yes.
Talk to you guys next week. Have a good weekend.
You
Bye.
too. Bye. Yes.
Yeah, I had just a quick question. When you're deleting a photo or an image,
uh-huh,
does it go back to media library if that's where it was, or where does it go to? Because I'm
Yeah,
losing.
it never. Yeah, if you delete it out of your page, it doesn't delete it out of your media library unless you actually go delete it out of your media library. Now, if you import it straight from Google and put it into your system, it doesn't go to your media library to save.
Okay, because I must have done something wrong because I deleted some photos, trying to clear the photos out before I did my content. And they were pictures that had been provided from Rory, which I thought were from media library, but they weren't there after I deleted them. So
in your if you delete them in your page, they never delete out of your media library unless you delete it.
Okay, well then
out of your you probably if you went to your media library and deleted them, yeah, they will delete in your media library and anywhere that you used them in your website.
Okay, but if you didn't get it from the media library, you got it from a photo that you put into a file someplace else, will it go back into that file?
No, it should stay in your media library, because once it's in your pages and you've updated and saved your pages, it saves it to your media library.
Oh, so any photo that you put in will go back to your media library, no matter what its source was.
Yep. As soon as you put it in that page and you've updated that page, it automatically stores it in your media library.
Okay, the other quick question was, I've been flipping back and forth between classic and paragraph in order to get color. So we don't have to do that, because in paragraph, you've got that arrow down where you can go get color.
Yep. And the thing about it is when you do the arrow down, highlight and link your image first, and then come back and add your color. Because if you colorize your phrase first and then link it, it automatically reverts back to that classic blue.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Have a good day.
You too. Anything else before we call it a day?
Is it your grandson's birthday?
Yes, and my daughter, she's here. She just looked at the cake and said the cake tilted, so now his baseball's leaning up against the box. So I got to go fix it.
No.
Okay, thank
No class next week, right?
Yeah, we will not have class next week. Well, let's see. No, the 15th. I'm going to try to have class next week, even though I'll be in Virginia. It's the 15th. I won't have class, and possibly the 22nd, depending on how long they keep me on Wine Ambassador.
Okay.
So the 22nd, I'll be but I'll be doing the Wine Ambassador training.
Okay, thank you, Sheila.
You're welcome. All right, any more questions before we call it a day? All right, I got one thing in chat. Got it. Perfect. All righty, so we're going to call it a day, and y'all have a wonderful
Sheila,
day.
real quick, do the Google Images. You just type in Google Images and then whatever the picture you want.
Well, usually what I do in Google Images is I type in what I'm looking for. So I just go to my Google, open up a new tab. Since I'm in Chrome, it automatically reverts to Google. And I type in, like we did health today. So if I want to type in travel, I don't want travel lost today. I just want travel. And then you have your tabs. So if you want to just get information on travel, you can do that. But if I just want images, I click on the image block.
Okay.
And then it just pulls up different images of travel. And this is one of the things I was talking about, why your pictures need to be linked. Because every image, it shows where it came from. So if you did an image in your website, this is where your link would show up right here. And if you click on the image itself, then it just highlights the image. But if you double click it, it takes you to the page it came from. So that's why it's important to have your images linked either to your affiliate offer or to your website. Always don't leave a blank image because it won't go anywhere. So
go through that again, linking both parts.
Yeah. So you want to, and that's just because I was in classic. So if you're in the regular image, then all you're going to do is just link the alternative text, and that's going to be your focus key phrase.
Link alternative text. Okay.
Yeah. So if you come here, click on the image, and it's going to over here on the left or on the right side, it says image settings, alternative text. That's going to be your focus key phrase.
Okay.
Okay. And then you're going to click on your link for your image, and then that's where you're going to put your actual link. So if she's got a Blue Scorpion page, I can actually put Blue Scorpion and do an internal link. and just click that. And then that way it goes to her Blue Scorpion page. So then they can read stuff on her Blue Scorpion page.
Okay.
But you always want to make sure whenever you click on your image, you come over here to your image setting and put in your your focus key phrase. That way your image can be searched based on key phrases. And then always, always link your image.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Anybody else?
Tell
All
your
right, guys.
grandson happy birthday for
Will
us.
do. Yeah,
All
they
right,
think. Bye-bye. Y'all have a good one.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye.
Sheila. Thank you.
All righty.
Bye.